Buddy, it is your boy, man, Stu. That was a botch. Back at it with another video, and today we're doing yet another toxic Tuesday ranking. Oh yeah, and I actually forgot to do this Sunday. I apologize to everyone that has been waiting for this, but I'm doing it today instead, and I'm still doing a tier list video on the sometime over the weekend. And today we're doing a tier list ranking all the AEW World Champions. But before we get into actual beginning of the video, what's up, guys? Don't forget to subscribe if you're new to the channel, because number one, it's absolutely free. Number two, also maybe help with the YouTube algorithm recommend it to more people, and maybe they could join that toxic fam. And do feel free to comment your list down below. With that being said, guys, let's get right into and before we get into the actual ranking itself, here are the tiers. We have best of the best, which means they had an awesome title reign. They had a perfect title reign. Loved every second of it. Second of it, great means it comes close to best of the best, but there's a flaw holding the title run back. Toxic goodness means they were a solid champion. I just wanted a little bit more from their title reign. Okay means overall it was a mixed bag. They had some bangers here and there, but they overall, I'm very mixed about them as champion. And the toxic trash means dumpster fire, the worst AEW World Champions. And also, I would just like to point out as well, I'm not ranking like since Jon Moxley is right here, right? He's held the AEW World Championship more than once. I'm not ranking all his individual AEW World title reigns. I'm just ranking his World Championship reigns as a whole, like together. So and also I'm gonna save Mox for last just because he's the current AEW World Champion. So we'll talk about him last. All right. So first up we have Chris Jericho, the first ever AEW World Champion, and he was good. He had a good match against Hangman Adam Page to crown the first ever champion. He also defended the title against Kenny Omega in a pretty decent match. Overall, wait, didn't he defend the title against Darby too? I forgot if he did or not, but the only flaw with his title run, like, I liked him as champion, and, like, he cut some pretty good promos and had a really good rivalry with Mox. However, like, I just wanted him to defend the title a little bit more often, but he waited until Revolution in 2020 and then lost the title to Mox, so he only had, like, 3 title defenses. But he was still a very good first AEW World Champion, and he definitely was the first one to bring prestige to that AEW World title, obviously. As I said before, we're saving Mox for last because he's the current AEW World Champion as of recording. Next up we have Kenny Omega, and Kenny Omega is a tough one. You know what? Yeah, he deserves best of the best. I was arguing to put him into the great tier just because kind of the same thing with Chris Jericho. I kind of wanted more title defenses from him, but he only, like, defended the title, like, on the big shows, and he did it consistently. So, why, how do I say it? How do I say this? He defended the world title on the big pay-per-views, and every single time he defended it, it was like a big moment. Kind of like with Roman Reigns when he defended the Undisputed Championship. It was like that. So when he popped up, it meant something, and he did defend it again. Unlike Roman, he defended it at every single big pay-per-view from AEW. Well, not big, but pay-per-view of AEW. So Kenny definitely deserves it there. He had a really good match. Triple threat match with Orange Cassidy and Pac. Of course, great little tiny feud with Christian Cage. He had some decent... Oh, he did defend the title a couple of times on TV, too, with Bryan Danielson, of course, in that crazy match that ended in a draw. That was awesome. 5-star classic. He also defended the title against Jungle Boy and Rey Fenix on TV, and they were actually pretty solid matches too. So yeah, Kenny Omega, definitely best of the best. And every match was a classic. Hangman Adam Page. Now, this one's a tough one because I love Hangman Adam Page, but I'm glad he was the one to defeat Kenny Omega. I think overall, as a whole, I liked his title reign a little bit more than Jericho's, because he did defend the title quite a few times, so I'll put him at the top of Toxic Goodness, but there wasn't really few really big key feuds for Hangman when he defended the world title. The only one was Bryan Danielson. Well, Bryan Danielson and CM Punk. CM Punk was his last feud in the title reign, where he eventually dropped the title to Punk. We'll get to that later. But his feud with Bryan Danielson was awesome. They had 2 great matches back to back. They knocked it out of the park, and as expected, I mean, they're Bryan Danielson and Hangman Adam Page. Adam Cole's feud with him was a little lackluster, to say the least. It wasn't a bad match, but you didn't really feel the, how do I say this? Like, you didn't really feel it was like a big feud, unlike with Bryan Danielson. And also, he just randomly defended the title against Lance Archer on TV, because to add another title defense to his record. So there's that. But he was still a decent champion. He was a good champion, so I'll put him there. CM Punk. Oh boy. Well, I'm pretty sure we can all agree on this. Don't get me wrong, love you, CM Punk, but toxic trash. Okay, the first title reign, it wasn't his fault. He got injured. Now, again, I love you, CM Punk, but the second one was kind of his fault. So, when he lost the title due to vacating it. So, yeah, with the whole entire Elite backstage confrontation, which we all know it's history at this point for AEW. It was kind of like the downfall of AEW, really. Yeah, where it kind of wasn't as on par with WWE anymore. Don't get me wrong, it's still good, but it's not on par with it anymore, I would say. But yeah. I think that's when people started to hate on the AEW after that. So, but sorry, Punk, but yeah, you gotta go toxic trash. So, yeah, both title reigns were pretty garbage. MJF, I'm better than you, and you know it. The best AEW World Champion. I mean, he had non-stop title defenses, and all of them were great. His first title defense being Ricky Starks in a really solid match on Winter Is Coming, and then ending with a really good match between Samoa Joe at AEW's World's End as well. Also, the Better Than You Bebe storyline, where him and Adam Cole were a tag team, that was a great storyline that definitely also helped elevate his AEW World Title run. The Fatal 4-Way 4 Pillars match at AEW Double or Nothing with Jungle Boy, Sammy Guevara, and Darby Allin was also really good. Honestly, I could talk all day about his title reign. This was the time when he became babyface, so for the first time. So that was very unique to see. So I'm glad, MJF, best AEW World Champion by far, and he's the longest one. So, yeah, MJF going easily up into the best of the best. Okay, I know you can't really see it that well. I was trying to get an angle of the picture to where you can see their faces. I mean, you can kind of see Brian's and Swerve's, but you can't really see Samoa Joe's, which I apologize to Samoa Joe if he's watching this. And Samoa Joe, this is tough. It was a very I think he is the no I was about to say I think he has the shortest title reign. No, CM Punk over here has it, but I'll put it at the top of okay for now. I might change my mind later. No, I think there's enough warning in Toxic Goodness. It wasn't a very long title reign, but he did have quite a few title reigns in that time frame. He defended the title against Hook, which a couple people were going like, a title defense against Hook, really? And they actually had a pretty decent match. His title defense against Wardlow was not good, but the triple threat match with him, Hangman Adam Page, and Swerve Strickland was good. And also when he dropped the title to Swerve Strickland, that was a good feud and a good match. So, yeah, Samoa Joe, even though it was a very short title reign, I'll put him in Toxic Goodness. Oh, man. Wait, no. I'm trying to go timeline order here. Okay. Swerve Strickland. Yes. Yeah, I'm putting him up there. Best. Yeah, I'm gonna put him best of the best. At first, it was a little rocky, I will admit, because they ran him when he won the title and he got his first title defense. They just randomly threw him into a feud with Christian Cage. That was his first title defense. They just randomly threw him into that, which I was a little hesitant about, but they actually had a really good match, even though I feel like the story should have been a little bit more better. But then after that, that's when the title reign started to get major, really, really good. Of course, with the feud with Will Ospreay, that was a really good champion versus champion feud. And he had also a title defense against Roderick Strong, I believe, on TV too. That was a pretty solid match. So yeah, Swerve Strickland, best of the best, and he had a great feud against Bryan Danielson. Speaking of Bryan Danielson, man, this hurts. Okay, I'm putting him in okay, because he had that one awesome match with Kazuchika Okada on AEW Dynamite, where the first 30 minutes was for Okada's AEW Continental Championship, and then they eventually transitioned just for the AEW World Title. That was a fantastic match, and the way he won it was awesome as well, with a great match with Swerve Strickland. And when he won, that was a true shocker, because I was going, oh man, they're actually gonna make Bryan Danielson retire, which luckily they didn't at that time. However, he lost it very quickly. I'm pretty sure he had an even shorter title reign than Samoa Joe's. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know. But, yeah, after AEW All In, he defended the title against Jack Perry at AEW All Out. And then Death Riders, the rest of Blackpool Combat Club turned on him. And then at AEW Wrestle Dream, right? That's the pay-per-view. Bryan lost the title to Mox, which I didn't see coming either. So, yeah, it was okay, but I wanted it to be longer. And it might be the end of Bryan Danielson's career, which he had a great run, don't get me wrong. But I don't want him to retire yet, man. He's still got it. And then we have the current AEW World Champion, Jon Moxley. And I will put him as the second best AEW World Champion ever, with all of his title reigns. First title reign, fantastic. He defended it against Eddie Kingston twice, I think. Also, he defended the title against Lance Archer too. He defended the title against Brody Lee. Trying to remember who else he defended the title against, because I know he defended the title against a few people in that run. Yeah, he definitely defended it a couple times. Also, he defended the title with his second title run too, where he was the interim champion. He did defend that quite a bit. He defended against Penta, Chris Jericho. Sorry, I almost said another Chris instead. Penta, Chris. Yeah, he defended the title quite a bit for his second run. His third run, where he won the vacant championship after what happened with CM Punk. Yeah, probably the least, the worst out of his title runs, but still, it wasn't terrible, toxic trash worthy. But then his current run right now is really good too, where he reinvented himself and gave himself a new character with the Death Riders. I think that he's having a really solid run right now, and honestly, the way his title run is shaping up as well, anyone could beat him, and because they're building it up as if these are the. Wait, I know 3 for sure that could possibly... Yeah, 3. I know they're building up 3 to possibly beat Mox, and everyone's trying to take him down. So you got Why am I blanking out? Cope, which, by the way, that's terrible name change, by the way. Adam Copeland, I should say. I'm not saying Cope. But Adam Copeland being a top contender. You also have Jeff Jarrett, and then you also have Darby Allin. Or, also, that was the fourth one. Orange Cassidy, when he comes back, he goes for Mox again, and then they have Orange Cassidy ends up defeating Mox, which I think that would be brilliant to storytelling, because Jon Moxley was the one to end Orange Cassidy's AEW International title reign. But with that being said, guys, that is just my thoughts on every single AEW World Champion. Be sure to let me know your list down below. But that being said, guys, I'll see y'all next one, everybody. Peace out.